Yo guys, welcome back. Now we know that pay between men and women is always a hot topic in the world of sport. So today I thought it would be fun, or at least interesting, to react to some WNBA players demanding more money and hearing what their argument is. So without further delay, let's get into this.
What is your message to the sporting industry about why women deserve to make just as much as men do?
Just wake up and realize that without women, where are we at?
When you're trying to accomplish...
Sorry, did you guys hear that reasoning? Why should women make more? And she just says, wake up, without women, where are we at? I mean, that is probably the dumbest response I think I've ever heard in my life. But hey, that was just one. Let's see what the others have to say. Let's go.
Accomplish something, there's one thing that is guaranteed to set you back: entitlement. The feeling that you deserve something that you haven't earned, or that someone else owes you something that they earned. This is one of the biggest problems.
Megan Rapinoe,
WNBA.
US soccer player,
Turned a profit and is solely being funded by the NBA. Yet anytime someone like Draymond Green or Tracy McGrady makes suggestions to try to help the viewership of the WNBA, they get shut down. That was made perfectly clear when Draymond Green was attacked by multiple women for saying that they should stop complaining and take action in trying to gain viewership.
I'm really tired of seeing them complain about the lack of pay, because they're doing themselves a disservice by just complaining.
They're not just complaining.
Huh?
They're not just complaining, really.
But they are, because they're not laying out steps that they can take to change that. Because the people that can change it, they're just going to continue to say, well, the revenue isn't there. The revenue isn't there. So if you don't bring in the revenue, we can't up your pay.
I think what I'm feeling is...
Okay, so just to piggyback off that, what they were saying. So the NBA essentially sponsors and funds the WNBA, and the WNBA in all its existence has never turned a profit in any of their years, whilst the NBA, as we know, is extremely profitable. So if you're not churning out more profit, then how can you expect to make more money? There's only so much you can get paid when your existence in the league is actually costing money. So what Draymond's trying to say is that they're coming up with all these solutions to try and get more viewership to the WNBA, but a lot of the players don't want to hear it. Let's see what this lady has to say.
Is a lot of miseducation and ignorance.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to pretend that I know Draymond incredibly well, but in the conversations that we have had, I believe that he genuinely wants to see change. I think he is coming from a good place. He just said that at the end of the day, he and Megan Rapinoe want the same thing. But inherently, the problem here, George, is that we're sitting up here talking about Megan Rapinoe versus Draymond Green, and that's taking away from what we should be talking about, which is equal pay. Here's the thing. This cannot be done. It is not
equal pay.
The oppressed to fix oppression. It has to be done with allyship, which is where someone like Draymond Green, a man, comes into a space that affects predominantly women. But the thing about being an ally is when you come into that space, you should be listening first, not talking first, because there is no one who understands better what these women are going through than these women. If you come into this space and say, okay, I'm going to listen, I'm going to take this feedback of what you've been living and what you've been experiencing, and then I'm going to then talk and then offer my ideas, perhaps even away from Twitter, because then it comes off like you're talking at somebody who's been going through something that's incredibly difficult for years and years and years, then maybe we can get to the point where women aren't making 80 cents to every dollar that a man makes. And by the way, that's white women.
And the same thing happened with Kelsey Plum. Moments after asking for an equal revenue share with the WNBA, Kelsey Plum said it's the fault of the streaming services and TV deals for why viewership in the WNBA is so low.
We are not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay.
You know what I'm
got
saying?
Got it. So that's a huge misconception.
That's a huge misconception.
Got it. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, because every video is like, oh, this person gets paid this person gets paid that, right?
So I want to be really clear about that. Like, I don't think I should get paid the same as LeBron.
Right.
But the percentage of revenue, like, for example, they sell my jersey in Mandalay Bay, I don't get a dime.
Why aren't more of the WNBA players getting more national commercials here in the States?
That's a great question. I don't know how
we change it directly. That's something that is like the major question. I do know that as part of the WNBA, I think what we can do is just make it more visible. Like, it's so hard to like tune in and watch WNBA games because of like streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to log in, and my poor mom's trying to subscribe.
Okay, just before we hear what else Kelsey Plum has to say, she's making a better argument than the previous lady. The previous lady was just saying equal pay, which doesn't truly make sense. She's asking for more of a fair distribution. So, for instance, let's say NBA players are getting 50% of revenue, then WNBA players should also get 50% of revenue. I can already see some holes to that though, because yes, the NBA players might be getting a larger share, but they're also generating so much more. Their business model is a lot more profitable, whereas in the WNBA, they're almost paying as much as they can because they're already making a loss. It is a non-profitable venture. The only reason it exists is for equality, so they probably don't feel the need to pay more if they're already making a loss. But at least Kelsey Plum is making a slightly better argument than what was previously made. Malika Andrews, her argument was weak, asking for equal pay. I mean, that was just ridiculous. Okay, let's continue.
Subscribe to 3 different channels to get the to get the game. Like, that's my mom, you know? A casual fan's not going to put in that type of effort. So I feel like making it less resistant to the consumer.
The problem with that statement is that TV deals and streaming services are based on viewership. You need to get the viewers and the audience first. In-person attendance is super low, and when the games are on national television, no one watches. Also, you're never going to get equal revenue sharing. Just throw that thought out the window. It's not going to happen. The WNBA has been losing money ever since it started. They can't afford to pay you the way it is. You are already overpaid compared to the value and the revenue you are generating.
Yep.
It's not happening.
Facts.
There's one thing that I don't want to say change, that you feel that can help the WNBA's game out.
Help the game out. Okay, so I think the game is looking great. I think it's evolved great. I believe that player for player, players are more talented, faster. You can see they're getting that individual training, ball handling skills, shooting. The game is phenomenal. I thought they're playing at a high level. I'm very proud of them. I support the WNBA still. I will always, obviously we'd love to have Brittany back home. That's important.
For sure. Shout out BG.
Shout out to BG. She's never, far from our thoughts, but the WNBA is rocking. What could we have more? I mean, I just think, from a salary standpoint, it'd be great for the women to be able to make more money. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. I think I saw something that said, like, one player that makes maybe $12 million on an NBA team could cover the whole WNBA salary.
Yeah, that's insane.
So that's kind of like crazy. And again, we're what, 26 years young, so it's not like we're comparing ourselves to the NBA, but I do feel like the pay gap would be something that, we could just take a donation around the NBA, maybe one night y'all don't go to the casinos.
I have something on this, though, because it pisses me off.
Draymond's coming in hot. Oh man, first of all, Lisa Leslie, one of the greatest female basketball players of all time, 3-time WNBA MVP, so she's one of the GOATs. I don't think she expected this reaction from Draymond when she said that, but basically what she's insinuating is that a larger percentage of the NBA players' salary should go to the NBA. She's just saying it in a very smart way. Draymond wasn't having any of it. He picked up on it straight away, and he said, I'm pissed off when I hear these things. And you can see Lisa Leslie knew straight away that she unlocked the beast.
Anyone in America that supports the WNBA more than NBA players.
100%.
The NBA players support the
Backtracking.
WNBA like
the most.
More than we probably support the NBA. And it bothers me.
If you notice, one thing that WNBA players never seem to have a problem with is accepting donations. If you try to improve the product or give them suggestions on what the audience wants, they don't want to hear it. They don't want no part of it. Their sport is perfect the way it is. But whenever somebody offers a donation or more funding,
Megan
everyone's
Rapinoe.
immediately on board.
We're gonna have to do a video on her sometime.
give me your money because you have a lot of it and I don't is a little entitled.
I got a question, and this is not a shot at women in basketball.
Well, good, because you're going to be
Tracy McGrady, baby.
Lobo had this talk during the Hall of Fame, and I was talking about doing something that gets, you know, not your average fans, people that don't watch WNBA basketball. What can we do to get those fans to tune in? And I was like, why can't we lower the goal to at least 9.5 feet? Because I think for somebody that don't watch WNBA basketball, to have women dunking on other women would definitely bring more excitement to that game.
He ain't wrong.
Have, you know, those guys that don't watch WNBA basketball tune in, and you get more fans that way.
You know, I've been playing basketball on a 10-foot hoop my whole life. So to move it to 9.5, it's going to take a long time to get used to that. And then also,
that's facts.
We're only playing basketball to dunk. Like, I'm not sure.
No, you playing to,
like, you know, you just want to see me dunk on somebody? Like, I don't know.
The skill level is off the charts in women's basketball.
Right.
But I think as far as bringing the entertainment.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
It's a reaction like this that makes me wonder if the WNBA players even want to see their game improve. There was no need to get defensive. Tracy McGrady was only offering a solution to help the entertainment value of the game. If he asked her, do you think the WNBA deserves more money? She would have said yes without question, but she doesn't want to attract more viewers or earn more revenue. She wants benefits without the results, and it doesn't work like that. But don't worry, I have a solution that benefits everybody. All of the NBA players will give their salaries to WNBA players until the pay is equal if all of the female OnlyFans and magazine models donate their money to men until it is also equal.
Oh my god. That's funny. That is funny. So yeah, I mean that's what you have it essentially. WNBA players not being happy with their current wage based on their skill level. They believe they deserve more. Quite frankly, I'd love for them to earn more. I just do not know the solution, because the high pay that the NBA players get is not actually because they're men. It's simply because of the ratings they bring, the viewership they bring, their high amount that advertisers are paying for ad slots results in them getting such a high wage. As for the women's game, nobody is watching it. So I think that is the first thing that we have to solve, is getting more viewers there. How do we do it? That is the question. But every single time people bring up some sort of solution, however good or bad, it gets shut down with a bit of arrogance. So I don't really know when this will get solved, if it ever will be. But folks, that is all I have for you today. Did you find this interesting? What is your opinion on the pay gap in professional basketball? I'd love to hear your opinion on this. But until next time, I hope you have a good one. Cheers.